What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be showing you the easiest way to detect the key of a sample. Okay, so I've done a video about this before in the past, and in that video I showed you guys how to find the key of a sample and then subsequently the scale by hand. The problem, however, is that that process takes a bit of time, and if you're anything like me, you like to work fast and keep the creative juices flowing. Now, up until this point, I haven't had a solid way of doing this quickly and efficiently, so much like I showed in that older video, I too had to do it by hand. Last week, however, I came across a plugin that has changed the entire game for me. It has quickly become my favorite way to detect scales and keys, and I wanted to share it with you guys today. The plugin that I'm talking about today is Auto-Key by Antares. Now, Antares is a company that needs no introduction. They make the world famous auto-tune, but what I didn't know is that they make this plugin as well. Real quick, before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to the people over at Plugin Boutique and Antares for sending this plugin over my way, but without further ado, let's jump right in. So this here is Auto-Key by Antares, and basically with this plugin, you can run audio through it and it will automatically detect and display the key. Let me show you guys how it works. So I already have a sample loaded up. This one's called Nirvana, and it's actually part of my production Kit, which you can definitely download for free by clicking the first link in the description. Now, whenever I put out samples and loops, I always like to label them with the key and the BPM. I think it makes it a lot easier for people to make beats out of. Now, this one here was in D sharp minor and at 78 BPM. My session is already at 78 BPM to match, so let's go ahead and clear out Auto-Key and play from the beginning to make sure we're in the right key. So D sharp minor and E flat minor are actually the same scale, so as we can see, this definitely works. Now, even though the reading on Auto-Key matched the label that I had on my sample, I want to take it a step further to make sure we're getting accurate results. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Scaler, and I'm going to select the scale that this told us it was in. So let's go ahead and go over to Scales. Let's go over to D sharp / E flat, and then we're going to select the minor one. So it'll be this one here. And then let's overlay it to make sure it actually matches up. So without a doubt, this sample is in fact in D sharp or E flat. Now let's try this again with a different sample just to make sure it wasn't some sort of fluke. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this here, and I'm gonna bring another one, again for my production Kit. This one's called Vices, and it's in D minor at 142 BPM. So let's go ahead and switch the BPM here. Let's go ahead and open up Auto-Key. We will clear it up and play from the beginning. So as we can see, the scales matched up again, but let's take this through that same process with Scaler just to make sure. So let's go ahead and bring it up, and let's select our scale, our new scale, that'd be D minor, and let's go ahead and play the sample and overlay it just to make sure we're on the right key. So now that you know what it can do, let's talk about how it works and some of the reasons why I love it so much. The first thing you should notice is that unlike any other similar tools, Auto-Key is an insert, not a VST. With almost every other plugin that I've tried that does something similar to this, I've had to load it up as a VST, open the VST, load the sample, and then have it detect the key that way. With Auto-Key, because it's an insert, you can literally place it on any channel in your session. My favorite way to use this plugin is to place it on my master bus in my production template and then set a designated track for my samples. So in the end, what ends up happening is that I open up my production template, I drag in a sample and drop it into the designated sample track, I open up Auto-Key and hit play, and that's it. No fiddling. This kind of workflow works really well for me because unlike VST versions, I can see my sample directly on my timeline and edit in real time. If this was a VST, I would have to load it up inside the VST, detect the key, and then bring it back in again if I wanted to chop it up. With Auto-Key, however, I can detect the key in real time and then immediately move forward to manipulating my sample. Now, you don't have to use it this way. You can still import your samples into the plugin if you choose to by using the file import button here, but at least now you have options. Now, this plugin is super simple to use, but my only two recommendations for you when using it is to, one, let a good portion of the sample play through so the plugin has enough information to do its job accurately. This is important because a lot of scales contain the same notes and chords, so allowing the sample to play out for a little bit allows the plugin to get a better picture. And second, much like a calculator, always clear it out before using it again. Now, the last thing that I want to show you guys real quick is that if you own Auto-Tune Pro or Auto-Tune Access, which, by the way, if you purchase Auto-Tune Pro, this comes free with it. But in any case, if you own those two versions of Auto-Tune, you can detect the scale and the key of your sample or maybe a vocal and immediately send it to Auto-Tune with this Send to Auto-Tune button here. This particularly is really handy when working with vocals if that's something that you do as well. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Now again, a huge thank you to the people over at Plugin Boutique and Antares for giving me the opportunity to test this plugin out for you guys. If you want to pick up Auto-Key, I'll be listing it down below. And as a matter of fact, for the entire month of April, Plugin Boutique is giving away a free copy of Regroover by Acusonus to anybody who purchases anything of at least $1. I'll be posting my review of Regroover later on this week, but for now, if you want to get in on this deal, make sure you purchase something of at least $1 from now until April 30th, and may I suggest Auto-Key. As soon as you add Auto-Key or any other plugin to your cart, Regroover will also be added for free. But again, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, but I'll see you guys on the next one.